So students, next topic of discussion is what is the motive behind doing such kind of cyber crimes. We have already discussed this part, but still I want to give you extra points here. So first point that is very much obvious here, that for the commercial gain and economic purpose, such kind of frauds, economic frauds are done, and this is one of the prime reasons we can say that why such cyber crimes are happening. For example, there can be hacking of the banks and financial institutions. One of the example of the ransomware is WannaCry named ransomware. In 2017, what happened, that this particular ransomware, it asked for so much money to different countries. I would say that different countries were targeted actually, and it is being said that more than 2 lakh of the systems, they were somewhere under impact because of this WannaCry ransomware. So this is one example. I will teach you in detail how this ransomware actually works. And then the second motive can be to penetrate and attack the critical assets and national infrastructure. I have already told you about critical infrastructure, banks, airports, railway stations. Then there are various financial institutions. In addition, there can be one example of nuclear power plants. I have already given you example of Kundankulam power plant, which was under attack in 2019. So these are the critical assets which are targeted, and that can also be for the purpose of economic benefit, or maybe one country is putting the other country under pressure, and that can be for the leverage of some kind of advantage in the geopolitics, advantage in geopolitics. In addition, terrorism or terrorist groups can also do so for gaining some benefit, or maybe blackmailing sub country. So this is the motive. This can be one of the motives as well. Now look at the third example. Third motive can be strategic advantage, and this strategic advantage can be seen using stealthy IT malwares that are used or installed to obtain the intelligence and plans of the other country. So you see, the military groups sometimes what they do, they spy, they do spying, and they do so to gather intelligence and have that advantage over the another country. And one such example I give you, very important example. The example is Pegasus spying software. This was students very much in news actually in 2019. In 2019, what happened was very shocking. The whole nation was in shock somewhere. It was told that using WhatsApp, approximately 300 eminent people of our country, some jurists, lawyers, journalists, in fact some of the particular activists, their phone calls were actually made into objects or devices which were used for spying. So what is Pegasus? And now let me discuss this particular aspect and what was the whole scenario at that point of time. So Pegasus software, it is actually being developed by Israeli company called as NSO group. What actually this Pegasus does, it does spying and makes the mobile phone an instrument of spying, and it is installed into your device using WhatsApp. Now your microphone can be used for listening into everything whatever you are talking nearby. Very shocking, definitely, and it is hurting the privacy of the people as well. Then your camera will automatically get on, and the hackers who are having that information, they can view through your camera, your mobile phone camera, your WhatsApp messages, chats, videos, photos, they will be compromised as well. And this is something very dangerous. This is something very dangerous. And if it is being asked to Israeli group NSO, why you are making such kind of softwares if they can harm to the society at that level, so they answered it that these kind of softwares are being developed so that they can be given to the intelligence agencies and governments. So who are the purchasers? Some governments are the purchasers, or intelligence agencies are the purchasers who track that for their own national interest, for their national security. They can track the terrorist activity and prevent any kind of attacks. So this should be used for the constructive purpose. But in 2019 there was allegation on the government. So it was an allegation on the government that government misused the Pegasus software for spying many of its citizens. And not just India. This allegation was not only limited to India. It was said that many other countries, they were doing so, and Indian government also does so. But then this particular point, it went to the, there were allegations, so allegations went to the Supreme Court also. The case was also registered. What Supreme Court said, so I am just cleaning it out, this particular slide, I am cleaning it out so that I can write more. What particular thing Supreme Court said in this case? Supreme Court said 3 points. First of all, right to privacy should be always taken into consideration, that this particular right is a fundamental right, it cannot be breached. It also mentioned about the freedom of the press. And third point, it also said that there should be limit on the usage of national security as a shield, which means that every time national security, in the name of national security, government will do anything, it should not happen. There should be limit on this. And then some particular committee was also formed, and it was asked to investigate more in this matter, and government said that it has no role in such kind of cases. It's just allegations. In that case, what government said, and this committee was also asked to frame particular kind of a framework or some kind of a policy, that what should be done in these cases and how the privacy of the people shall be maintained. So this is the overall scenario. Rather than discussing here, this is one example here actually, the overall topic that you discuss in economics or your polity part. So I have given you enough details that you can mention this particular example of Pegasus spyware as a misuse, how it was misused, and allegations on the government as in one of the examples where strategic advantage was being tried by the government. Another example is of Snowden revelations. So what was revealed by the Snowden? His full name is Edward Snowden, and he revealed a lot of documents, and he leaked all those documents to show that how the spying and surveillance was happening on the citizens of the country. And he is basically from US. I will explain in detail that how it happened. So this is one of the examples again. So considering the fourth example, we will discuss about cyber hacktivist. This is also one of the motive behind the cyber crimes. So what activists do, you know that. And when we say hack activist, that means these are hackers. and they are doing this activism in the cyber world. So political agendas of these groups, they use it against the government. And how do they do so? I will take the example of the dark web here. The use of dark web and cryptocurrencies is the example. So I hope this particular topic is actually science and technology topic, but I'll explain you here. Let us say this is the surface of the water, and what you see, this is the iceberg, right? So I'll take one illustration of an iceberg, but you know the iceberg that is being seen above the water is 1/4 actually, and 3/4 at the bottom of the water, right? So this particular iceberg, it cannot be seen, and this is only being seen. So there are basically three parts of the web internet. First is the surface web, second is the deep web, and third is the dark web. So if you know this topic, it's good. If you do not know this topic, it's okay. I'm making you understand it, that this surface web is basically that particular internet which is freely available to everyone. Everyone can access this. You just go to the Google and type something, and the information will be in front of you. Each and every one of us have this access. Then there is something called deep web. Deep web is basically that particular web space or digital world where you need some kind of user ID, you need some kind of password, login ID, you know this, okay? So if there are some kind of specific bank details, if there is some kind of an account that you make in social media also, you need this username and password and IDs so that you can access it. So this is deep web. Deep web and surface web, they are used for mostly for constructive purposes, but the dark web that we are talking about, this particular web where the information is being the transformation of exchange of information is happening, and lot of activities, illegal activities happen, which our agencies and common people are not able to see but actually happening in the internet world, is called dark web. So actually, using the dark web, these hack activists, they try to propagate a scenario against the government and fulfill their political agenda. They misuse this web. So this is dark web. Why our agencies and common people are not able to access it? Because while doing so, these hackers, what they do, they create lot of safety scenarios around them, which is difficult to breach. And just like a onion which has so many scaly leaves, and you peel one leaf one after the another, and then only you will be reaching at the inside of the onion. This is how they do so. They also create layers of safety around them, and it is very difficult to breach them. It is basically what? It is coding. It is computer coding, and these codes are very difficult to crack. That is why it is difficult to address them. And then when I said cryptocurrencies, the illegal use of cryptocurrencies. What is the illegal use? Using cryptocurrencies for buying arms, using cryptocurrency for the services of human trafficking, or maybe terrorist funding. These things are done, illegal things are done, and using these cryptocurrencies, then we say this is all happening at the dark web, and this is one of the motives. This can be one of the motives by the people who are doing cyber crime. So remember the example of Pegasus, remember the example of dark web, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. These things not just can be mentioned here in the examination in this particular topic, but they can also be mentioned in your science and technology topic, and you can code these examples as well. Okay, students. So these are the basic broad ideas. Now let us come to the topic of methods of cyber crimes and attack. Lots and lots of methods are there. Phishing is one important method. Then man in the middle. What is man in the middle? Distributed denial of the services. Then eavesdropping, ransomware attack. I will teach you most of these particular words, and I will try to give you 7 to 8 such methods, so that in future if it is being asked to you, you will have ample amount of information to mention it. This question has already been asked in the previous year question, so we are not sure of whether when can it be re-asked again. It can be asked to you again, so always be prepared in this aspect. Okay students, so the first topic here is phishing. The first method of doing cybercrime is phishing, using phishing, and the word has been derived from fishing actually, but this is quite little bit different from what is phishing. So though you can say there is a similar name of the alphabet, the alphabet has been changed but the word is same. This is a fraudulent practice. It's like doing a fraud by sending emails, and it will seem that these emails are coming from reputable companies, and this is being done so that the individual get induced and reveal the particular information which is very personal to him, just like giving away the passwords of their accounts, maybe giving the credit card number information, and this way this kind of if such kind of activity is happening, this is phishing. So in simple words, you will get an email. The email will be saying that you have won 1 crore rupees, Kaun Bana Crorepati is saying so, this message is from so and so company. You have won some mobile phone, this is the, just click here and buy your mobile phone very easily. So this is how they are going to lure you, and then you get these emails and it asks you to click, and once you click it, some kind of a malware gets installed in your computer, and this leaks away or gives away the personal information which is very critical for you. So you see in the photograph also, we are saying that using this computer, the hacker is actually going into your personal computer and your personal data, and then whatever you are doing on your computer screen, it will be given away to the other person using this kind of a malware. So malware, I've already told you, I've discussed you already what is malware. These are malicious softwares. This is called as phishing. But students, until and unless you click it, this will not work. So this particular person, a hacker, will wait for you to click on the particular email, and then only this works. I hope you know that many a times RBI, some film stars also, celebrities also, they come up and they say that do not attend any kind of emails which are not knowledgeable to you, which are not coming from which are not known to you, and do not click anywhere, because these things are happening and people are very smart enough to do these things. Phishing is one method of doing cyber crimes, students, but there are many types of phishing activities. So I will explain here what are the types of phishing. This could be next potential question that can be asked by UPSC. UPSC has already asked you about the type methods and different types of cyber attacks, but now it can be specific this time, asking you about what is phishing and different types. So one such type is called as wishing. What is wishing? Wishing is basically voice phishing. And how this is happening? So what I am doing is I am marking these two words, and it is the basically the combination of voice and phishing methods. You would have heard in news many a times that and also it may happen to your near ones or close ones, neighbors also, that some phone call will come to you. Let us say this is you or your nearby known person, and this phone call will be coming to you and stating that I am talking from so and so bank, let us suppose SBI bank, and manager is calling you. And why this manager is calling you? Because there is some kind of a problem in your account, and it wants you to add your PAN card and Aadhaar, and you have to upgrade it. If you do not upgrade it now, your account will be seized. So in that case, we can help you out, and what we just need from you is your OTP that will be coming up to your mobile phone. Only that's it, and everything will be taken care of. And sometimes these people who fall into this trap, they are sometimes, mostly in fact, they are senior citizens, because they're not much aware of such kind of frauds, or maybe sometimes young people as well, like 20 years of age or 22 years of age, who are very young and they do not understand such processes. So what happens to them? This particular person is so confident and speaking in English as well to you, and you do not, you just trust him, and this is how they are cheating you. What happens actually? Using phishing methods, they have your, let us suppose they have your credit card or bank cards, bank accounts details. But you know, banks have very good security systems where they ensure that if any kind of a transaction is happening, and if it is of some optimum amount which is need to be ensured again, so what they do, they ask you to fill an OTP that comes to your registered mobile number. If you have used if you have used these particular companies which are there to buy things, and you would have filled your details, your address and everything. Let us suppose you're buying something from Amazon, and then what you do, you fill your details, you buy the product, and then you enter your details, your email ID, your phone number, and then the OTP comes to you. So this is something which everyone does, and everyone knows about, but such methods are being misused by some people. So then if you are falling into the trap, you will give the OTP via mobile. So you see, the voice and phishing, both the methods have been combined here, and this is called as phishing. But later on, what you realize it, that if you complain about it, and you see in the news as well, these people who are saying that they're working as SBI managers, or maybe ICICI manager or HDFC managers, they are sitting in some remote area, in fact fields, village fields, and from there they are doing such kind of illegal activities. This is phishing. So very easy to understand, this is happening nearby, and just be alert that you do not fall into these kind of traps. Second way of phishing is whaling. What is whaling? See, in the phishing method, what the particular hacker is doing, it is trying to send the email or something to the sender, and the particular target can be anyone. Like say he is sending the email to hundreds of people, and maybe 5 to 7 people, they go and click it, and they fall into that trap. But now in whaling, what the hacker will do, what the hacker is trying to do, he is trying to target executive, a senior executive, a particular person, maybe a minister, maybe a celebrity, maybe a big businessman. And you see, it's trying to, he or she is trying to, the hacker is trying to catch a whale. So he is not just in phishing method, what it is happening, you're just a fisherman is spreading the net, and whatever fishes are he's going to catch, that falls into the trap of the net. That is why the name is phishing, right? But here he or she is trying to, the hacker is trying to catch a whale, and whale has to be targeted. There are not many whales who are floating in the water. So if you want to target a whale, you need to be very specific. And when this phishing activity is happening to a specific targeted person who is a big fish, I would say, right, then this is called as whaling. So this is whaling. Very basic difference is there, and all these methods they are somewhere interrelated to each other, but very little difference. Let's just keep on rolling. This is the second case of phishing. Third method of phishing is spear phishing. Spear phishing. Now what is spear phishing? In spear phishing, the fraudulent activity, it is coming from the known or trusted sender in order to induce targeted individual. So in spear phishing, what is happening, that whatever the sender, the person who is sending it, he pretends to be a known or a trusted sender, where it can be easily trusted by the target that yes, I am totally aware of the person. Maybe in phishing method, the random messages coming to you, you may be not aware of the particular email, the person or who is sending it, and you just click it by a chance. But you see, in spear phishing, the known person would be there, the trusted person will be there, and the sender would seem to be a very, very trusted person. This is basic difference between spear phishing and phishing. And the fourth one is, if such kind of activity is being done using SMS, this is called as smishing. That this time you are not getting emails, you are getting a SMS, and while clicking or opening this particular link of the SMS, the malware is installed into your system. So these are the different methods of phishing, right? So be aware, be attentive that what question has been asked to you, whether it is in journal, the methods of cybercrime is being asked to you, or phishing method has been asked. However, these particular points can also be asked to you in your prelims examination, and the differences among the particular different types of methods of cybercrime can also be asked. Clear? And any kind of a new method or new terminology can come up in your current affairs also. Ensure that you know that what this term related to. Maybe in future it can ask you, whaling is a method or spear phishing is a method related to which of the following, and it asks you that these are cryptocurrencies, it asks you that these are the special warships, it asks you that this is the methods of cyber attack. So these options can be framed, and then you know the answer. So these are the basic questions, they come into the exam sometimes. Next topic of discussion is the man in the middle. So the name in itself is very much clear to us that there is a user and there is a web application, and this web application, let us say, is related to some bank, let us say it is related to some kind of a hospital, and there is some kind of exchange or transaction is happening between the user and the trusted web application. But what happens, this particular information, rather than going directly from one system to another, it is being diverted or directed by a person who is sitting in the middle and passing the information via his system or her system. Then this particular person will be called as man in the middle, and then since the transactions are happening, or maybe the interaction or connection has been made with the help of this person, then he will be aware of the exchange happening between the two parties, and this particular person can misuse this information, and in fact such leaks can lead into fraudulent activities and fraud crimes, right? So what is the definition? When a perpetrator position himself in the conversation between a user and application, so he or he is what doing, he is eavesdropping it. So when I asked when I told you the word eavesdropping, this is one of the methods of eavesdropping, where the person impersonate one of the parties, making it appear as if it's a normal exchange of information underway, and this is actually not normal, because this person is totally aware what is happening between the two parties, and this is the person, this is the method of cybercrime called as man in the middle. Very easy to understand, nothing difficult. Next is distributed denial of service. See, I've told you three things are very important. First point is that the confidentiality needs to be maintained if you want to do cyber security. And next is the particular identity of the person. And identity theft should not happen. And then ultimately the access of information. If it is not available to you, then it's a problem, and you need to ensure that cybersecurity should be robust enough to ensure that the access of information should be there. But in the denial of service, you know the word denial of the service is not available. I'll give you one example. Sometimes what happens, sometimes let us suppose during a result may be declared, maybe some kind of a government exam was there, maybe board exam is there, and the result is being declared, and now many students, what they will do, to check their results, they will go to the proper website of the government, and they will try to write their roll number and enrollment number, and then they will try to check their result. But if many of the people, if it's a board exam, let us say it's a CBSE board exam, and then the lakhs of students, they appeared for the examination, and at the same point of time they are trying to open the web page or website, then this particular website, it may get crashed and error may come up. This happens, and then after a while when you try to open it, it gets open up. So these things happen because there is a capacity and the server sometimes gets down. This is naturally what happens, right? This is the obvious thing. Naturally this will happen. But if a hacker or an attacker tries to create the similar situation which is artificial in nature and it is not actual, then it may seem, then what will happen? This particular attacker, he or she will have a system which will control many different computers, and it will ensure that all these computers, they try to open up or attack the particular system or server of the victim at a same point of time, which is actually being created or hacked by the attacker. And the attacker wants to attack the victim computer or system so that the particular attack will ensure that there will be denial of service, and in this case he or she, the attacker, will seek the important information from the system. So what these computers are actually, they are being controlled. They are controlled by the attacker, and that is why these computers, these systems are not working on their own and called as zombies or botnets. They are working just like robots. Students, so what is the definition? Multiple compromised computer systems, they attack a targeted computer, cause it that there will be a denial of service for some point of time for the users of the target resource, and the target can be the server, target can be the website, or maybe any kind of network resource. This kind of an attack is called as DDoS, distributed denial of service. If it is happening normally, these things happens normally because there is a lot of load on the server or the website. This is a natural way. I am not saying in this example, this particular example of the students looking for the result is a cybercrime. No, it is not. But such a situation, if it has been artificially created and the denial of the service happens, then this is basically one of the cyber crimes. Okay, this is the third method. Fourth is a very interesting and very important actually. It is called as ransomware. In this particular ransomware attack, what happens actually? There would be some kind of a software which is going to lock your computer or lock your screen, and then it will demand you some kind of a ransom. Until unless you pay that ransom, it is not going to unlock your system. So let us suppose there is a attacker, there is a hacker. It tries to invade in your system. And how is it happening? It is happening via malicious software code that is being installed in your system. Now what will happen? It will lock your screen, and if you want to open this particular screen, you need a key, again a code which is being created by the attacker. Until unless you pay the attacker, you are going to pay the attacker. So you have to actually pay the attacker. He or she is not going to give you the key and the screen will be locked. And it also sometimes threaten you that until unless you pay in given time, your screen will not be unlocked, and even your data, it can get lost and your files will be deleted. So this is the way a ransomware works. I will show you this particular kind of a dialog box that pops up to your screen, where clearly mentioned that what is happening to your computer. Your computer is under an attack of ransomware. You need to do this payment within 2 days, see it is mentioned here, within 2 days, 23 hours, 57 minutes, you have to pay within 2 days, or else the payment will increase. What I'm asking you now, if it is X amount of money, it will be 2x. And if you are not going to pay it before 6 days, 23 hours, 57 minutes, 37 seconds, if you are not going to do that, after 6 days, all the files of your system will get deleted. And how they are asking to pay? They are asking you to pay via Bitcoin. You see, it is asking you to pay via cryptocurrency, and it's also going you to the option that do the payment here. One such example is of WannaCry. I have given you the example just now. WannaCry 2017 was one of the examples of the ransomware. It created a lot of havoc throughout the nation, throughout the world, in fact, and most impacted were the Western worlds, Europe and the USA, and in fact in Asia, China was also impacted, Russia was also impacted somewhere. So this particular WannaCry ransomware, more than 2 lakhs of these systems, computer systems, they were under attack, and it is being said that the attackers, the particular hackers, they are not yet been the money has not yet been recovered, first of all, and they're not been caught. So it depends now where these people are, and it's not known basically, because when cybercrime of such magnitude happens, they are seeking money using Bitcoin cryptocurrency, which is again difficult to track, and there is no central agency who's controlling Bitcoin, who's controlling the cryptocurrencies, and then they are sitting in some other country and then doing such kind of frauds, which becomes, and they are so much anonymous that we're not sure who they are. So in this ransomware attack, malware first gains access to your device. Depending on the type of the ransomware, either the entire operating system or individual files are encrypted, and then they are, until unless you pay the amount, they get deleted. Okay, so there are various other examples rather than focusing on only WannaCry. There are other examples of crypto wall. Then there is another example of crypto locker. Another example of Peta virus. So you can give these examples as examples of ransomware. Okay. Next method is spoofing. This is another method or way of doing a cybercrime. In this, what happens is, when someone or something pretends to be something else and in attempt to gain the confidence, get access to our system, steal the data, steal the money, or spread a malware. So this particular hacker, this particular person, he is going to, I would say, identity theft is happening, and this particular person is pretending to be known, and then sending you some messages and emails, and you feel that this particular person is very much trusted. So gaining the confidence is the important point here, and then this is how gaining the importance, it gets your system being hacked. Maybe a movie video. So source of the movie video will seem to be authentic, but maybe not. Maybe some photographs, maybe some music. You seem to have a particular authentic source for that, but it is not, and it is sending you some of these informations, and you feel that it is very much trusted. I ensure that this is a movie, this is a music only, and you click it, and then you realize that this particular it enters into your system, it do enter to your system, but steal the data, money, and spread the malware as well. So this is called as spoofing. Another example is of farming. This is another form of phishing only. I would say it is very much similar to phishing. And what happens is that there is a website which is real, but if a particular hacker or particular person who is the attacker, what he does, he creates a website which looks very similar to the real one, very similar to the original one, but fake. And this is you, maybe you are a client, and then you will be directing to a server, and from the server there has been some manipulation that has been done by the attacker. From the server, you are not directed to the real website, however you are directed to the fake website, and you are unknown whether you are doing any kind of work on the website, whether it is real or fake. And let us suppose this particular fake website is of a bank. There is username, there is password, and you are unknown that you are on a fake website. And then what you do, you type your username, you type your password, and then what will happen, this information is being given to the person who is a hacker, who is an attacker. And then this person what he will do, he will misuse this information, and then this way a cyber fraud will happen to you. So the full definition is where a website traffic is manipulated and the confidential information is being stolen. This is the purpose. And in essence, it is a criminal act of producing fake website and then redirecting users to it. But you see, there is no clicking to any of the particular emails or SMS. It is basically you are trying to opening a website and it is being directed automatically to a fake website. So I would like to tell you something, that on your screen, computer screen, sometimes when you open internet, you know that there is a box at the top of the page, and this particular box, when you see that HTTP ##, some of the information of the website is given, but before that or maybe sometimes after that, there is a lock. I'll show you the lock, how does it look. I'll make it very clear. There is some kind of a lock that is being put at the top of your this particular information of the website, and this suggests, if you have seen it now, you can totally agree with me. This suggested that whatever work you are doing, it is secure. But let us suppose this particular lock is missing. It can actually tells you that where you are working, where you are seeing the information, where you are trying to reach in the website. If the lock is not there, that means it is somewhere vulnerable. The website is vulnerable. First of all, do not trust it, and second point, it can be a fake website also. So this is one of the methods called as farming. So what is the difference between farming and phishing? If this question comes up, what is the difference between farming and phishing? Farming, it is very difficult to identify because it looks exact copy of the website, of the original website, and it's fake actually. But it is easier to identify that phishing is happening to you. That Kaun Bane Crorepati is stating that 1 crore rupees you have won and just claim your reward. These things, some people generally tend to understand that it's fake. It's trying to cheat me. Targets multiple people at a time. Multiple people can be on the same fake website and writing their capricious information. But what happens in phishing is that one person at a time is a target. So email will be sent to you, and then the email will be sent to somebody else. You are clicking it, somebody else is clicking it, but one at a time. Malicious code installed to the computer, definitely, but here the malicious code is being sent via email to you, generally in the inbox or maybe SMS. But we're talking about generally it is happening through an email, and until and unless you click the link, it is not going to activate in the phishing, but it gets automatically redirected to you to a particular fake website in case of farming without even clicking any particular kind of an email or anything. So this is a basic difference between phishing and farming. Such kind of differences of different kinds of cyber attacks can be asked in your prelims examination, or maybe simple words can be asked to you that what are they related to. So you remember that it is not farming, but the word is basically farming only, but is starting with PH, farming. So this is a basic difference, and you must be aware if such question comes up. Now students, do not do it wrong. It's very important to do these questions right. Until unless you do these easy questions right, then you'll not be able to crack prelims.